Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be sharing how I make an offer from my intuition, from an intuitive, sensed, and feeling place. I'm Judith Manriquez, and this is an episode of You Are the Dream podcast. So I had this sense today when I was putting together what I wanted to share through my blog. I realized that I didn't want to read my blog. So today what I want to do is actually walk you through the experience of what it is to make an offer from a really intuitive place, while at the same time being really almost overly informed about what offers are. So when we're doing our businesses, for those of you, whether you're interested in an offer or if it's your business or not, I think this will be just a really helpful way to take a look at how I listen to energy, how I listen to intuition, how I integrate and work through sort of the mental processes, because I can be really mental. And I thought it would be helpful for others to have it to reflect on in terms of how they look at offers. So first of all, let me tell you, I love learning how other people write offers and put together basically what they want to sell in the world. So there's certain people that I love to listen to, and I really love some of the teachings that Funnel Gorgeous sells and teaches. I really love some of the stuff that Tosh Corbin does. I really appreciate both of these women's, their integrity, and they both are very clear about articulating all the important things in marketing, right? So knowing your message, knowing what you stand for, being niched down to what you're going to do and what are you solving, right? All of this stuff is really appealing to me because I have a marketing background. And at the same time, what's even more important than that is my intuition and how things feel and what I sense. And I have to lean into that beyond what I already know to be true in terms of what I'm taught about marketing things. And I know there's a lot of people like that. And so there are actually a lot of my clients are like this. We really have to listen first to what we're feeling and sensing in the energy, and then figuring out how we can express it or share it in the world in a way that's received well. So my mentoring group has heard me working through this process for quite a few months now, and I've got some longstanding clients who hear me talk about these things often too. You know, when I want to put out an offer, or when I want to share what I'm going to be available to work with or work on with people, I actually spend quite a bit of time like sifting through the energy to feel for it. And I want to describe that a little bit, and I'll tell you there are a couple of things that I already know is done deals. So if you're working on offers, or if you work on how do I share my service, my intuitive business in the world, from a place that's in alignment with yourself, there are some things that I already kind of know. And some people don't already know this, so there's different approaches that you might take. But I already know that there's a certain way that I like to work with people in a one-on-one capacity. I like to have a space and time for a session. I do normally say it's 90 minutes because it gives us time to explore, and then it gives us the freedom to end sooner. And sometimes, often, I will leave time at the end because I don't like to stop in the middle of some brainstorm. So that's a done deal for me. I'm also really comfortable with my pricing. I know what I'm going to charge. I know what is comfortable for me. I know where I feel it's a good exchange. I also know that in my mentoring engagements, it's also very important for me to be available throughout the time period. So these are non-negotiables. Like, these are things that are concrete pieces that always end up in my work. Whether it's in one-on-one work or group work, I think it's super important since I deal with a lot of highly intuitive people, when we're dealing with our intuitive life, it's not predictable. We can't mentally push ourselves through something sometimes. The energy is the leader in how we meet the day and meet whatever shows up. And sometimes when that's going on, it really does help to be able to reach out on the moment, in the moment, to get a reset or an energy boost or a reframe to kind of not lose focus of what we're trying to do. So all of my offers are always you can reach out to me. Okay, so these are known things. They are very concrete and definable things. It's the not concrete thing that is often more difficult for me to work through. And for that, I guess So the kind of work that I do is kind of like coaching, right? It is kind of like consulting, and I call it mentoring. But it is this melding between having expertise around a business, but also the softer work that is of the heart and of the intuition, how we do our own inner transformational work as we do our business, and these things weave together. So I call it mentoring, and I could certainly put up, here's my offer, you can mentor with me and coach with me in whatever capacity makes sense for you as you grow your business. That doesn't work for me. It's important for me to listen to the energy of who and what is the tone of the engagement that we're going to enter into. So I think in conventional marketing speak, this might sound a lot like know your niche, or get very, very clear about what problem you're solving. But I'm not really solving a problem, because I don't really adhere to the belief that there is a problem to solve. I think there is clarity that we can come to, but I don't really see my clients as having problems. I actually see them as having a whole host of opportunities, and sometimes way more than they can often handle, which is where confusion comes in, right? So then how do you approach creating an offer when there really isn't a problem? For me, the way I approach it is I listen to the energy of where am I wanting to step in to work with in someone else's energy journey, someone else's developmental journey of themselves. And that is a feeling tone. It's an intuitive sensing tone. And a lot of times I'll listen to the energy and I'll listen to what's showing up. So as soon as I say, okay, now I really need to get this set and done, I'll start listening to the different conversations I'm having. I'll listen to the different people that show up. In fact, right as I was getting started with this, I had 3 longstanding clients that I wasn't actively working with, and they all kind of jumped in and knocked on my door and said, can you help me with this? And I'm like, okay, but I'm not really doing this anymore. And that was a clarifying moment, right? So I could tell, yes, I'll help you with this because I've helped you in the past with these kinds of things, but that doesn't feel like what I'm here to be doing right now in the world. And so that was a clarifying moment for me. So that's one way that I look for the clarity of the offer. The other thing that I listen for is I listen for kind of what's happening in the collective sphere of energy. So what's happening with the cosmic energy. So in this case, I like to listen to Molly McCord and how she speaks to the astrological energies that are moving. And that helps me hone in to what's actually moving for people intuitively and how we're shifting collectively and growing collectively. So that's part of what I listen to when I think about where do I want to step in to help people. So let me give you an example. We have a lot of people who are waking up on the planet. We all know this. There's this waking up energy, this coming to an awareness that my life isn't how I want it, and what can I do to change it? And we have a lot of people coming to greater awareness that they're much, much more sensitive than they ever imagined. In fact, they're highly intuitive, and they're like, what do I do with this? So there's a lot of that going on. We have a whole nother level of people who have been working with their intuition and been working with their self-awareness for a good number of years, and they have a bunch of skills and awarenesses they work from. Then we have like a whole nother level of people who've been doing this for more than 20 years, 20, 30, 40 years, and they're also going through their own version of expansion and awakening because of the way the energies are coming in. So I'm just looking at the in marketing speak, I'm looking at the marketplace, and these are the people out there in the market. In my speak, it's like I'm listening for the energy tone of the people that I most enjoy working with. And I enjoy working with women who are intuitive, highly intuitive, who listen to their intuition and who have businesses. So within that landscape, then I'm listening for who in that realm do I want to most help? Like, what is happening in their world? Where is my skill set wanting to present itself? So then that brings me to the place of listening for, I listen then to what is my intuitive gift want to be doing in the world. So I know that there's this realm, this whole environment of people, but what is my intuition leaning towards wanting to express? So I really enjoy helping at a very practical level. So I love the mental component and the helping people in with their business. And I really love listening to people when they work through their intuition, like using their intuition to guide them to make choices that are often historically very mental choices. But when you listen to your intuition, you create a whole other realm of possibilities for you. And believe it or not, it's actually, for many people, it's very difficult to do because we've been acculturated and trained to not do that. So I really love doing that. And then I start listening to my intuition, and my intuition is, as it is happening for you, probably if you're listening to this, my intuition is shifting too. So my ability to sense and see is shifting also. And as it shifts, I'm listening for, what is this shift opening up for me as a possibility and as a resource for me to help other people? And so in this case, I've been feeling the energy that I'm able to feel happening out there for others is this energy tone that I call emergence. As we move through transformation collectively, transformational energies, these cosmic high vibration energy that's coming on the planet, opening the door for us to make even more transformation, like to really lean into the ways that we want to expand and grow and become more self-aware. And so for a lot of people, that's going to look like awakening. And for many, intuitive, empathic, starseed, light worker, healer, energy healer, whatever, coach, whatever language you put to yourself, many of us are helping others who are making their awakening. So these transformational energies are helping us with awakening. And then there is another vibration that's open and available to us that I perceive that we have not really had as wide access to. Like, I have to believe it's been around, but we've never had this degree of access to it. And I call it emergence energy, which literally means that we have playing out on the planet now energies that are transformational energies that are available to everyone, but more likely being accessed by people who've already been through awakening. And this emergence energy is literally that. It's the revealing of something that has never been before. So for instance, my intuitive perception is now picking up on things in a way that has never been before. And my capacity to see what potentials are available in time and space and for people, it has never been before. Not just never been before for me individually, but I don't think it's ever been before in this collection and constellation. And the way that I use it and develop it is going to happen over time, right? I don't really know how this is going to play out entirely just yet because it's kind of new to me. So this perception that I have of emergence energies, I can perceive that that's going to play out for us. And I'm going to use language that feels good, but I don't know, it's like made up. But it feels for me that we are going to have new intuitive technologies. And those intuitive technologies, which is literally our intuitive senses expressing themselves through our physical body and through whatever ways that they're going to show up, are going to begin to express themselves in the creations available for us to use, apply, create, whatever, demonstrate. So we're going to have different kinds of organizations expressing. We're going to have different kinds of products being created. We're going to have different services being offered that none of us have ever seen before, that have not been present on the planet, because there are intuitives who are accessing information and being comfortable using it and putting it into the marketplace in a way that we've never had before. My sense is that this is going to be really wide-ranging and very amazing. We have had intuitives doing this for years, for decades. One of the people that I followed long ago was Meg Blackburn-Losey, and she's the one that really helped me understand some of the first language about indigo souls, right? But she channeled and brought in a light language way early on that she wasn't not light healing that she never was able to really share out on the planet because there weren't enough people who were capable of learning it and using it and sharing it. And that took many years before she was able to share that out in the world. And so that was a technology, an intuitive technology that became available, that is now accessible for us to access. That kind of thing is going to be happening in multiplied ways now. And so we're going to have intuitives who are comfortable and open and receptive enough, who are wanting to step into emergence energy. This tone of energy that I've been listening for is what forms the kernel of the energy around my offering. So I just gave this whole long explanation to say that I was listening for my intuition and listening to the thread of energy on the planet and in the collective within the realm of the people that I work with, to listen for who did I want to work with, so that I could anchor in my offer to that tone of energy. Okay, so that's a few sentences to describe that's how I came to craft an offer. I went through my own inner listening to listen for which energy tone and which people within that energy tone am I wanting to work with that is in harmony or alignment with my skill set, both mentally, physically, intuitively, emotionally. So I already knew my skill set is around clarity and seeing and holding energy and seeing possibilities within people that they can't yet see, and then showing the path forward. So these are skills that I already know I brought to the table. I bring to the table all of my business and marketing, all of that stuff. And then who did I want to work with? And so this is what I wanted to share. It's an energy intuitive listening that brought me to clarity about what that offer was going to be. I believe that many, many intuitives, and probably far more people than we realize, not just intuitive, listen for their offers from that place, and we don't ever deconstruct it that way. I know that in a conventional marketing place, people say, look at your skills, look at what you're good at, what does the market need? So it's same concepts, right? But a lot of times we're looking at this from a very mental, logical, like count the pennies, count the pieces, look at the problems. In this case, was I really looking at problems? I'm really seeing possibilities and opportunities, and I'm listening to a flow of energy. And I'm listening to the flow of energy that I want to step into and work with, and the people within that energy. So I hope explaining this to you and describing the process that I came to develop Emergence Mentoring is helpful to you. And if you have any questions or would want to pursue that or pursue what it might look like to work with me, please feel free to schedule a clarity session or a single session. I'm always available to talk that through. And it's always a joy. I'm finding that I really, really enjoy this talking part of communicating and sharing, so podcasting. And this has been new for me. And I'll tell you, I have a feeling that going forward, what I write and put into words on my email/blog and what I speak about are not always going to be the same, but they're going to be in the same camp. So they may be more enriching content because I don't want to read what it is that I just wrote. So now you know. So that's the inside scoop, folks. I am so delighted that you're here on my journey as we learn to be the dream of who we are. And I hope to see you here next time. Take care.